Day 26 of the Larry Millete murder trial, and less than an hour ago, and just one day into it, the defense rested its case. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Anna Laurel.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. The defense began by calling two volunteer canine handlers with the San Diego County Sheriff's Office to the witness stand, and then a private investigator. News 8's Kelly Hessedall joins us live from the South Bay Courthouse. And Kelly, what testimony stood out to you today?
Yeah, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. But first, I want to mention that just a short time ago, Larry Millete put on the record with the judge his decision not to testify. He says he understands it's his right to testify, but that he's choosing not to take the witness stand. So back to those canine handlers who testified today. What was interesting is there's a portion of the testimony that the jury did not hear. So these canine handlers, they're volunteers with the San Diego County Sheriff's Office, Canine Search and Rescue, Stacy and Stephen Agan. And they testified on January 23rd, a few weeks after Maya disappeared. They went in with their search dogs and searched the Millete home, the backyard, the garage. It took about 30 minutes. And the canines did not detect any human remains. Now, Stephen told the jury his dog is not trained to detect any residual scent, meaning if a body was in a location and that body was moved, the dog isn't trained to go in and sniff out that residual odor. Now, what the jury did not hear is that the canines also searched the Millete's Lexus SUV and did not detect anything either. The judge excluded that. The jury also didn't hear that one of the handlers, Stacy, initially did not want to go through with this search because she said it was outside the scope of her canine's training. She said her dog is not trained to find human remains that are no longer present. Meanwhile, the defense also called a private investigator to the stand, a man named Larry Millete, who walked the jury through all kinds of photos taken around the Millete home, the backyard, the fence, the drainage ditch. There's a nearby hiking trail that dumps out to a street. And he told the jury, yeah, it's possible Maya could have left her house and hiked her way out undetected because there were no security cameras capturing every portion of that drainage ditch. But what also came out in court is the pictures he took were taken 3 years after Maya's disappearance. Some were taken just a few months ago. The prosecution trying to show a lot could have changed during that time period. Mallory said he walked the trail Maya could have walked, but he did it during the day. He said he never walked it at night in the dark. And though he testified he believes someone could jump the backyard fence, he told the jury he never actually tried to do it himself. So back out here live, once he was excused, the defense rested. The judge said the jury will be asked to come back on Tuesday for jury instructions, closing arguments, and so the jury could get the case as early as Tuesday. So what started out as potentially a 3-month trial, we are now heading toward the finish line. Anna and Carlo.
Kelly talked about the fact that the jury did not get to hear certain testimony about the canines searching the vehicle. Can you tell us why they didn't get to hear that?
Well, the judge was kind of hung up on one big question, and his question was, how long does it take when there's a decomposing body for it to begin leaking fluids? Because Stacy had indicated that, yes, if there had been some fluids from a decomposing body in the vehicle, it's possible that the canine could have detected it, but nobody could really answer that question. And so, the prosecution said, from my little research here, it's possibly 3 to 5 days. But the judge said, well, if you want to bring in an expert to talk about decomposing bodies, then yeah, we can go there. We can do this. But the defense, of course, is like, well, it's not our theory that she's actually dead, so we're not going to bring in one of those experts. And so the jury never got to hear that portion of the testimony, though, again, they did get to hear that there were no remains detected in the Millete home.
All right, and now we wait for closing arguments, and amazing the jury could get this by next week. Kelly, thank you so much for that.
And you can stay up to date with the latest from the trial online and on the go with the free CBS 8 streaming app.